I've realized that I took the step back. I gave in to the feelings of the uncertainty. I've had my mental breakdowns, and I've realized that it was all self-inflicted, just like all of it. But I am choosing to level up right now. I'm choosing to make my stance, and I'm choosing to make sure that now is the time. It's important for all of us to really take that stance. This is the Savage Hour Podcast. We take you inside the mind of fighters, athletes, and entrepreneurs. Don't miss an episode. Follow and subscribe. Today we're going to talk about leveling up. And what I mean by leveling up is really paying attention to the things that we are doing as an individual and really assessing if we're doing everything we can to bring ourselves to the level of our own expectations. You know, we're in this situation right now where we've got the pandemic, we've got racism, we've got uncertainties, you know, and myself included. It's hard to stay focused when we have no idea what the answer is. You know, right now is a time where there is nobody to go to and ask, you know, what do I do in this situation? How do I overcome this? How do I beat these mental battles that we're in? You know, all of us have our own struggles and our trials that we go through on a daily basis. And when we're in a situation where we're in this like we are now, there is no blueprint, you know. And for me, I'm guilty as well, you know. Like I try to come out and I do my best to stay positive, and I try to motivate everybody. But you know, I haven't put out any content for the last few weeks, and it's because I realized that I fell into the same traps as everybody else. You know, I'm nobody that's exceptionally special or anything, because if I don't stay on top of my own shit like the way everybody else is supposed to, it's very easy for all of us to fall into the traps of realistically what they want us to do. You know, the people at B, they want us to stay home, they want us to stay on social media, they want us to stay watching the news, they don't want us to do anything that betters ourselves. And I've realized that I've fallen into that as well. You know, I've got a lot going on, like all of us. I've got a family, I got a baby now. I'm trying to keep my business in survival mode. And when we're in this time, we have no idea how to stay motivated. We have no idea how to just keep ourselves going because we don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. You know, in the gym industry, everything keeps changing daily. All the news comes out and things change daily. And I lose my own motivation. I get caught off guard and I say, you know what, I just wanna sit down and do nothing. I want to sit down and drink. I want to sit down and stare at a wall. And because it's like there's nothing on paper of what I need to do for tomorrow. The easy answer is, you know what? Let me close up shop and just figure everything out when this thing passes. And that's not the answer. The easy answer is, you know what? Let me sit at home and eat a bunch of fast food and drink a bunch of whiskey and just get fucking smashed. That's not the answer either. And I haven't been feeling sorry for myself, and that's not the case, but I realize I've been caught up in how easy it is to sit back and go, man, I don't know what to do. And when I do that, I realize I'm not working out. I'm not eating healthier. I'm not making decisions that I need to be doing anyways, regardless of what's going on around me. I'm getting caught up in this whirlwind of the world that's happening. And it's crazy because when I look around me and I look at all my friends and all these other business owners, my students, and everybody's in the same boat. We're all getting caught in it. And to level up, we need to be able to acknowledge when we are making these mistakes. We need to acknowledge that when we are deciding to take the complacent route or the fear-driven route and taking a back step. And I realize that I need to step outside. I need to evaluate what I'm doing, and I need to make sure that I get back on it. And that's what we're doing now. I'm leveling up. I'm using the fact that I can pull myself out of this hole of momentum that I was in and rebuild my momentum into another stage that's going to get me further along. I've got a lot of projects that I've been working on. I'm getting back in the groove of things. I'm back on writing my book. I'm back on working my online academy. I'm back to trying to build a business. When I say build a business, right now my business is in survival mode. Every other business is survival mode, so I have to keep building just so we survive, so I can keep running with it when this thing does pass. But what I need to do is make sure that I'm back on my notes, I'm back on my building, I'm back on getting motivated to making sure that things that I am working on are helping me get to that next level. Because if I stay complacent and if I stay just sitting down, nothing's ever gonna happen. I'm gonna keep waiting for handouts from the government. I'm gonna keep waiting for other people to tell me what they are doing to get out of this. As long as I and the people around me find ways to keep motivating each other, to stay ahead of the curve, then when everything passes, people are gonna wanna know, what did we do to get to there while all this was going on? Motivation is really up to yourself to be able to beat the inner dialogue that we have. I was having a conversation with one of my students about this today, and I want to share it. That negativity with our own inner dialogue is truly an infection. And what happens with infections? If it goes untreated, the infection spreads. If it's an internal infection, it'll keep spreading and it'll eventually kill us. The way we speak to ourselves internally is identically the same thing. Negatively and inner dialogue that's all poor is nothing but an infection that's happening on the inside. And what we need to do is, when we have that infection, is we have to take the things and we have to battle it, right? And once we get the infection out of us, we need to callus our skin so it can't come back in. But what happens when we're locked indoors for X amount of time and we don't have the cure for it, which is being around motivated people, being fit, eating the right foods? What happens when we have a callus that is no longer kept grinding? It gets soft, it gets weaker. The infections can start digging into our skin again. And once the infection goes in, it spreads and it slowly starts killing us. And that's what's happening right now around the world. People are stuck indoors, and the strongest minds that were going into this are getting weaker because the callus are getting softer and the infections are starting to penetrate the skin. But we do have the opportunity, we do have the ability to beat it. We can. But you are gonna have to realize that it's not gonna happen overnight. Just like when you take antibiotics, right? You want it to be gone, but if you take the antibiotics, it doesn't happen overnight. The antibiotics have to set in. You have to keep on it. And just because you're feeling better doesn't mean you stop taking them. You have to keep killing the virus. You have to keep killing the infection. And that's what needs to happen right now. If we want to truly level up, we have to keep killing the infection of what's being put into us. We have to keep realizing that the information that's being given to us, we have to get that shit out of there. We have to keep making the choices of what we think is right. We have to keep deciding that if it's right for me, that what I need to do to keep moving forward. I am not willing to allow my family to be brought down because of other people's decisions. I'm not willing to let a bully ever fucking push me down ever again. It's not gonna happen. And right now I'm fighting to survive for my family. I'm fighting to survive for my students, for the gym. And realistically, I am fighting to survive for every single person that is being pushed down by a bully. We're not doing that anymore. It's time to level up. We have to step our game up, not just for us, but for those around us. And if we all keep stepping up, there's nobody that's gonna stop us. Bullies stop when they realize they cannot keep pushing. When we keep pushing back, the bully steps down. It's really that simple. Leveling up is not about being comfortable, it's about pushing forward when things are uncomfortable. I've realized that during this time, I've been pushed down. And it's not until we're willing to push back that we realize what's happening, that we can take a clear look at what the picture is. And now we're back on track. We're back to creating content. I'm back to being motivated. I'm back to seeing other people begin to get motivated because all we needed to do was start the process. And so now that I've made this realization, it doesn't mean that I might take a step back again when I'm caught off guard. But as of right now, I've realized that I took the step back. I gave in to the feelings of the uncertainty. I've had my mental breakdowns, and I've realized that it was all self-inflicted, just like all of it. But I am choosing to level up right now. I'm choosing to make my stance, and I'm choosing to make sure that now is the time. It's important for all of us to really take that stance. And this is what matters. I preach this all the time, that it's in the moment that you don't want to do things where your truth comes out. Right now is what matters. Right now matters for all of us more than we even understand. So now is the time. It's time to level up, it's time to take a stance, and it's time to fight on. It's time to decide to be a champion. Hey guys, if you like this episode, follow the podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel.